Hey everyone, Jason Shepard here of MzeroA.com. In this quick video, I want to share with you how to choose a flight instructor, a great flight instructor, and how to choose a great flight school. The two truly sometimes go hand in hand. And I want to go inside the private pilot blueprint and read you an excerpt and read you a chapter from it, because choosing a great flight instructor is so pivotal inside of your flight training. So let's go ahead and let's take a look and let's read inside of the private pilot blueprint. This chapter is called Making the Right Choice. It says, believe it or not, the next two decisions, choosing a flight school or choosing an instructor, can make or break your training. Too often I see new pilots drive to a flight school, meet the first CFI they see, and say, you're it, let's go. You need to realize that you'll be spending thousands of dollars and dozens of hours of your time at this flight school with your designated instructor. They should be working for your business and not the other way around. And this phrase here is so pivotal. You are the employer and they are your employees. This instructor in this flight school should be working for your business, not the other way around. They shouldn't just say, here's your instructor, he or she's available now, you guys go fly. There's so much more to look at. And it says, here are a few keys and a few things any prospective student should look for and ask before making the leap with a flight school. And then I'll talk about a flight instructor. What kind of training aircraft does this school offer? Whether you realize it or not, if you do your private in a Cessna 150, a tiny little two-seater trainer, or a Cirrus SR-20, you're going to get the exact same, plastic pilot certificate. It's not going to say what aircraft you did your training in. You're going to get a private pilot certificate either way. The guy or gal in the Cessna 150 is probably going to save a little bit more money than the person who did it in the Cirrus. It's just because the Cirrus is a more expensive aircraft to rent and to operate. So we need to know this going in and ask the right questions. 2 is, how do the training aircraft look? You should never be able to make a decision just by talking to somebody on the phone. You should start with talking on the phone, but take a trip out there. How do the training aircraft look? I know you're just a prospective student pilot, so you may not know what to look for, but you're a pretty good judge of character. It's the same when looking at an airplane. How is this flight school caring for the airplane? Are they absolutely filthy? Now, that may not say anything about their maintenance records or anything else, but it shares with you the small details. Do they care enough to keep the bugs off the leading edge of it? Because if they care enough to keep the airplane clean, you know the maintenance is going to be A-okay. Look for these sort of things. How do the training aircraft look? What is your initial impression of these training aircraft? 3 is, how many operational training aircraft do they have? Nothing can derail flight training like a scheduling conflict. If your school only has 2 Cessna 172s, but 20 students in the pipeline, it's 20 people fighting for time and 2 airplanes. And guess what? One of those airplanes one day will be down for maintenance or on a long overnight cross-country flight, and now you're down to just 1 airplane. You want a school that has multiple aircraft to make scheduling that much easier. 4 says, is the school or the airport close to home? Studies have shown that students are more likely to finish their training if the flight school is located within a 30-minute drive. You want to find a great flight school that's near you, but at the same time, a good flight school is always worth the drive as well. But is that drive going to force you to go, oh, it's so far, I don't really want to go today? Well, hopefully you're always having a drive and a desire to fly. Now, there are some things to look at with a flight school, but what do I look at that makes a great instructor? Do your schedules match? Here's an example. I am a weekday flyer. If you wanted to be a student of mine, I like flying Monday through Friday, 9 to 5. Saturdays and Sundays are the days that I like to spend with my family. So if you have a job that requires you to work 9 to 5 and you can only fly Saturdays and Sundays, I would be a bad instructor for you, because the days I want to rest are the days you want to fly. And we're going to have some scheduling conflicts there. So make sure you don't have any scheduling conflicts with this instructor. Also with this instructor, what are their goals? I want them to be honest with me. Listen, if you're sitting in a hiring pool to go to Cape Air or go to Delta one day, just let me know. I want to know how long I'm going to have you as an instructor, because if you're just one phone call away from leaving, I might want to consider another instructor. During my commercial pilot training, I had 8 different flight instructors. This was back in '05, and everything was just kind of booming, airline hiring wise, before everything kind of came down and everyone was furloughed for a bit. But '04, '05, you had 300 hours in a heartbeat, you were sitting right seat in a CRJ. We couldn't keep flight instructors. I would do one lesson with one instructor and she would be gone the next time. I'd have another new instructor, which added a lot of problems in my training because no one knew much about Jason and what Jason was good at, and no one really cared about me. They just cared about moving on to the next thing, and rightfully so. That's what they were there to do. But find out their goals. What are their ambitions? Are they just going to leave you one day? And then lastly, look at their personality. I talk a lot. I'm very descriptive. I talk with my hands, as you guys tell me I do sometimes. I'm aware of that, don't worry. But that's just how I am. I'm an extrovert. Maybe if you're also an extrovert, we're not going to get a word in edgewise flying around. Maybe our personalities wouldn't match. Maybe my teaching style isn't best suited for you. Keep in mind, you're going to spend at minimum 30 to 40 hours with this instructor. That's not including the time on the ground. Make sure you spend time looking into this instructor's personality. You guys are going to have to be friends. If this isn't the kind of person you'd invite over for dinner with the family, I probably wouldn't let him be your flight instructor. So look at these sort of things as well when looking for a great flight school and a great instructor. What are some of your tips? I want to hear what you think to help these future student pilots out there make a great flight school and a great flight instructor. Leave me a comment down below this video. You'll get a reply from myself or the great team members here at MzeroA.com. And if you want to check out the Private Pilot Blueprint, it is an absolute free book. All I ask is that you pay shipping. Shipping's $6.95 if you're in the US. I think it's $12.95 if you are if you're international. We can get those shipped out to you guys. All I ask is that you pay shipping. It's a free book to you guys. PrivatePilotBlueprint.com. It's everything I wish someone would have told me before I started my flight training. I want to give this to you guys as our gift. So enjoy that, PrivatePilotBlueprint.com. Enjoy the rest of your day, and most importantly, remember that a good pilot is always learning. Have a great day, guys. See ya. Pass your check ride or I'll pay for it. Join our #1 rated online ground school and participate in live mock check rides and interactive written test prep. Visit groundschoolacademy.com to learn more.